What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're working on our 2016 Kia Forte. We've done a few videos, common maintenance items. We've done the spark plugs, we've done the air filter, so be sure to check those videos out. But today we're going to be doing the valve cover gasket. So if you got any oil leaks, anything leaking around the top of your engine here, most likely it's the valve cover. So we're going to walk you through, show you how it's done. All right, so step one, you're going to remove this engine cover. This is just held on by rubber grommets. There's one in each corner, so I like to be gentle, pull from each corner. You do run the risk of cracking this engine cover if you just yank on it. As you can see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 little rubber grommets. So we're just going to go ahead and set that up here on the windshield. And so we're taking a look here. We have some 10mm bolts holding the valve cover on. We've got a couple hoses, a couple of electronic attachments here. And then we have our 4 coil packs for our spark plug. So only a few things to remove. This is relatively straightforward valve cover, so let's jump on it. First step, unplug the electrical connectors. I like to do that first. So you have one back here, I think this is a little cam sensor, and you're just gonna stick your finger. It has a little connector, pop it there. This is held on by a little push clip. I like to squeeze both prongs with the needle nose. Okay, basically I'm just squeezing both sides here so you can pull it out, and then it's held on just with a little press clip there. For the spark plug coil packs, you're going to go ahead and just you can use a plain tip screwdriver, or if you got some fingernails, you're going to pop the gray thing back, and then you'll be able to squeeze and pop it. So when you see this is in, when this is in, you can't press the clip to release it. So it has to be in the upright position. So you're going to go along those, pop all those off, unplug. This one is broken from before, so it just has the normal clip. There's no locking mechanism. And we have our 4th one here. Okay, so now we have all of our coil pack unplugged. You got 2 sensors here. You're going to unplug both of those. All right, and then we have our 2 hoses. We're going to go ahead and use our needle nose to pull as we release the clip. This is like PCV stuff, EGR, exhaust gas recirculation. So we're going to go ahead and let's move this one down. Okay, so sometimes you might need to get your little tool, free it up depending on how long it's been on there, and then it just slides right off. All right, so now we'll take a look. We have all of our electrical connectors off. We have the 2 hoses off. And next up is to remove the 4 coil packs, get those out of the way since they are attached to the valve cover itself. 10mm, so we're just gonna go ahead and we'll spin those right out. And those just pop straight out. They just pull right up, nothing's holding them in. The only thing left is we're going to pull out the dipstick. That's the only thing we got left. All right, now we're ready to go ahead and remove the 10mm bolts that hold on the valve cover itself. You don't need to remove the 2 sensors. They're not going to be in the way. So let's go ahead and jump on it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 total bolts. They're all the same size, so you don't need to worry about getting them confused. Just grab a little magnetic cup or a little bowl to hold all your stuff. I'm just using a 10mm with a 1-inch extension. That's how you can reach everything. All right. right, let's see what we got. The moment of truth. Give it a little wiggle. Oh, okay. Now that is a huge difference. Obviously we cleaned this, so that's not going to get messed up. But inside there, wow, that is remarkably better than how we started this Sludge Factory. All right, got the valve cover off. We're ready to start taking off the old gasket. The outer trim is pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. It's just going to be in a little channel. You can pull it up. There are two little offshoots here for the bolt hole. So, well, it actually broke, so it's hard. There's a little rubber piece that's, okay, yeah, you can tell it's kind of rotten. That comes out. Yep. All right, that pulls out there. So now we have our outer trim off. What I like to do for these are kind of like a, think of these as like a normal seal, like a crank seal or a cam seal. You have to just get a plain tip and you're just prying against the one edge. Just remember, be cautious because obviously this is plastic. You don't want to mess up anything, but just get your screwdriver in there. And we'll take a little bit of force to pop it out. Okay. This one, just make sure not get lined up with that. You don't want to have it hit anything. Okay, so now we have all of our pieces out. Here are the new Kia. We use OEM stuff whenever possible. So there's the spark plug gasket and then the valve cover gasket. There's the info. We'll link all the description, the products in the description below, excuse me. And if you want to, this is a good opportunity to clean this up. We did this on a previous video, so if you haven't checked out our Kia Sludge video, I'll link that out. One of these corners, it'll be up there. Check it out. Okay, so now we're ready to do the installation. All right, so we just lay it out. These two little doodads go on the one side, so you know that you got the orientation correctly. So we'll go ahead and start it in this first loop here. Okay, come down into the corner, so we're good. And then here, what I like to do first is insert it into the circle, and then you can go ahead and line up your two grooves, and it simply just pushes in there. Same thing on this side. Just get it in there, put it in the groove, and put it in the groove. Okay, and then just walk around the entire gasket. Everything's going to line up nicely. We know it's going to work perfect because it's OEM. We don't have any fitment issues. Sometimes you got issues if you're getting Felpro or Victor Reigns or some aftermarket. I've had instances where it just doesn't line up. Usually can't go wrong with the OEM. Plus the parts are relatively inexpensive. Kia, Hyundai parts, pretty cheap. So, get it all in. Okay. Everything is secure in the groove. All right. And now we're ready for our little spark plug seals. So for these, your hands are already kind of oily from touching everything. What I like to do is just get it started. You can take a 34mm socket and then just give it a light tap. Light tap into position. You just want to make sure that edge is flush with the plastic and you're good. Okay, go ahead and drop it in. Like I said, just get it straight. Get your socket. Just make sure it's flush. Do that the same on all four. All right, now we're ready for the reinstall. All right, so we're just gonna do a quick wipe down. I'm gonna spray a little brake clean onto a towel, and I just wanna wipe off that surface of the head. Make sure we don't have any oil, anything preventing our brand new gasket from sealing properly. I'm also going to wipe these spark plug tubes off since part of it goes there. And then you want to take a razor blade and away from the engine, you don't want anything to fall in there. You're just going to take away a little bit of this like little sealant. Basically, you need to apply a little dab right here because it's the timing chain cover. So there's a little crack there. So there's always a small chance you could have a leak there. It's pretty low because these surfaces feel really machined real nice. But we're gonna go ahead, clean off the old stuff, put a dab of new stuff, and then we're going to reset this valve cover. So we got I'm just using a little ultra black, a little Permatex. So just put a little dab on that crack and a little dab on that crack. Doesn't take much. All right, so now we're ready for our reinstallation. All of our gasket is nice and in place. So we're just going to bring it over. Yeah, the first thing that touches is the spark plug tubes, so just line those up. They are brand new, so that will be a little bit tighter than before. Okay, get that in position. Okay, just double checking, and there we go. Go ahead and drop in all the bolts. I like to start, make sure they're all straight, do a couple turns by hand. Great, we didn't lose any, that's always nice. So there's not really any specific torque sequence on this Kia, but I like to just start in the middle, snug down the two in the middle. And then start working your way to the outside. Now we're going to go ahead and switch over to the torque wrench. So we got our torque wrench. This is very small, only 5 foot-pounds of torque on these, so just going to be easy. The O-ring is doing, or excuse me, the rubber gasket is doing all the work, so it doesn't take much. All right, so now we're ready for our coil pack. We just go ahead and insert those back in, drop them into place. Okay, and then we have our 4 10mm bolts. Get those started. Okay, not really any torque value for those. And then we're ready to go ahead and plug everything back in. So we'll start with our little sensor in the back here. Plugs in. You have your little clip on the top of the valve cover. Then it snaps into place. We got plug number 1 here. So you put the connector on and then push the gray thing. We have our 2 sensors here. They just push right on. You don't need to do anything. Okay, spark plug number 4. So you just, once it clips on and then it doesn't come out, that's the locking clip. Like I said, on this one it's broken, so it just clips into place. It's still going to stay there, it's just they put the lock clip on there as an extra security measure, so nothing will ever fall off. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and get our hoses back on. I always try to put the hose clamp back into the original place. I don't know, just something makes me feel good that it is going to seal properly. Release. Okay. Plug, 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 hose, hose. We just need our dipstick. Get our dipstick back in. All right. And then we're ready for our engine cover. Remember those 4 little rubber things? Just line it up. Basically, if you get the 2 circles lined up around your oil fill and your engine oil dipstick, then you can kind of just push down in each corner and you hear it clip into place. And there you go. You've just done a valve cover on a Kia Forte 1.8. The 2.0, like I said before, is virtually the same, so very, very similar setup. So hopefully that helps you guys out with your repair, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.